Good morning. Today on Business Success in Six, we have Mark Krause here from Krause Funeral Home. Mark, thanks for jumping on the call with me.
Well, thank you for asking me to be part of it.
Our viewers are so excited to hear about you, your success story. So I'm going to ask you 6 questions in 6 minutes, and we're really looking forward to hearing what you have to say, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you. The first question is, when people ask you what your business does, how do you describe it?
Well, I think what our business does is it helps people remember and say goodbye. They say, well, you're in the funeral business, but I say we're in the hospitality business with a different focus. We're good people taking care of good people at a very difficult time. And we're here to figure out what they need to do and how they need to do it when it comes to a death or saying goodbye to a loved one. And really that's the joy of our job. It's being walk with people through that difficult time and get them to the other side of it.
That's really incredible, changing the mindset of what can be such a traumatic and sad experience and really changing that to joy and remembrance. So I love the way you describe your business. Thank you for that.
Well, you're
Um,
welcome.
the second question is, what were your plans when you started your business and how have they changed?
Oh, well, we're a third generation business right now, and my daughter is in the business, so she would be fourth. Um, we started out as a mom and pop kind of funeral home back in the 1930s. My grandfather started it.
Wow.
My dad and uncles took over in the early 60s, and I took over in the very late 90s. And it's like any business. They evolve over time and they change. And our business really reflects the culture that we are in, the culture of what families do. I think about funerals and they're really family events, where before they used to be more of this big stoic ritual, kind of grim funeral event. And we've kind of changed them over the course of time, and really the past 20 years or more, into being celebrations of life and not being that grim old funeral, but being more of a positive experience and that saying goodbye piece. And we've evolved in many ways, whether it's with offering a therapy dog,
Wow.
uh, having we do food service right in the funeral home, including adult beverages during visitations, even not just after the funeral, but even during. And what we've noticed is that people are really embracing these kind of things. What do we do at other family events that we need to really bring to funerals? Because again, who likes a funeral? Nobody.
Mhm.
But let's make it a pleasant event. Let's make it something that, so when you need it, you can go, that's how I wanted to do it, or that's how we need to do it when the time comes.
And they don't have to worry about planning all that then and going to somebody else, right? They can just go right to you and say, this is what we'd like, and you can offer that comfort pet or that beverage or whatever. That's neat. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Thank you for sharing that. And one more thing too is, so third generation, almost fourth generation of family, you're really showing the gathering of family both for the funeral and for you. That's beautiful. The third question is, what's the biggest way you impact the community?
Wow. Well, funerals are often community events. Um, whether it's a funeral for a firefighter or a policeman, or maybe it's a young person that has died, or a baby, or anybody. Really, it's a public thing
Mhm.
that allows the community to also remember and say goodbye. I mean, we help out people that lose their babies all the time, and we've what a blessing that is. I think that we have that opportunity to help people at that difficult time. So
Absolutely.
being involved with the community is really what we're all about. And how do we give back? How do we do things? And we do various charitable things. We contribute to things. We get involved because that's what people do, and that's what that we want to be part of.
That's great. Yeah, and that's what we're called to do, right? At that very core. People need people. So That's awesome what you're doing in the community. What is one challenge that you have faced that other business owners could learn from?
Oh, well, I think the challenge always comes is, are you relevant to your consumers, especially if you're in a service business? And so the biggest challenge for me, constantly interjecting new ideas into what we do, because when you think of a funeral, you think, well, they're all the same. They all do, but they're really not. Every funeral home operates so differently, and our offerings differ greatly also. It isn't just having a service and having a casket there, and there's many different elements that we can bring to it to customize and to personalize it. Not every funeral home chooses to do those things, but my idea is that we want to have everything available to them so that we can offer it. Because again, it isn't how I think the funeral should be, it's how the family thinks it should be.
Sure.
So, and they don't know what they can do or can't do. So they come to us looking for ideas or suggestions. They don't even know what to ask. And so our role is to help present those things in a very positive way so that maybe they can see themselves doing that when they maybe have never considered anything like that. You know,
Very,
like our motorcycle hearse. We have a hearse that is has like a trailer thing behind it that pulls a glass enclosed casket,
wow.
and we use that probably 3 or 4 times a week
Very interesting.
for different families. And so it's those kind of things. As a funeral home, it's easy to say, well, we don't do that. But my thinking is the opposite. It's like as many ways as wishes, I guess, would be the way to say that.
That's really cool. Yeah, a lot of business owners could use that perspective. I love that. Thank you. What does the future look like? I know you said that your daughter is coming into the business or is in the business. What does your exit plan look like?
My exit, well, I just crested 65 this year.
Happy birthday.
So, as you get older, you start thinking, well, do I slow down or can I slow down? Because, I mean, the funeral business is more than just a job. It's a lifestyle because we work 24/7. We're engaged with people. We become parts of people's families very quickly and for a period of time.
Mhm.
And so exit strategy, I don't know that I really have one right now, other than I like what I do and I keep doing it. And I like being part of the community, and I like helping people, and I love our staff. We have the most awesome team here. Um,
That's great.
and as long as it's exciting and fulfilling, I think that's what we do. And at some point, though, it's nice when the old guys get out of the way so the younger ones can bring their ideas forward too. So I'm cognizant of that.
That's wonderful. Absolutely. So last question, all subjects open. What inspires you most?
Oh. You know what? At work, what inspires me the most are those employees or the staff members. You can see they got their head up and their eyes open, and they're trying to challenge, and they're trying to see how we can do things better. I call it people pulling the wagon rather than sitting on it.
Cool.
And those people here that inspires me, because I remember being that way when I was young, and I've always looked for those types in others, and those are the ones that end up getting ahead. Those are the ones that can create their own future rather than just becoming victims of it.
Cool. Absolutely. That's really inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're
Pulling the
welcome.
cart instead of sitting on it. Wow. Thank you so much, Mark, for taking the time out to share your success in your business. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait for our viewers to see what you have to say.
Thank you, and it was an honor to be part of it today.